How's it going, guys? This is Bad Boy AK, and after a long time I finally made a YouTube video, and I didn't quit. I'm still doing YouTube, and the fact that I just been busy, and that's why I stopped uploading YouTube. But anyway, we got a very exciting news that will be my first video after a long time that I'll be sharing, which is the S650 Mustang that launched and came out. Now, the S650 Mustang just launched today, and it really is in my aspect, a car that's been redesigned and looks very modernized as compared to the previous generations. Ford basically focused on making more and more upgrading and in terms of improving its interior. But without going any further, I want to, before I talk any further and go in detail in any of my explanations, I first would like to show you guys some backup, which I mean by is pictures and videos. So without going any further, let me show you guys the pictures and the videos, and let's show you guys the new 2024 Mustang. So in this first clip of this video, we're going to see the actual review of the 2024 Mustang, and to me, without even saying anything, I think it looks good. But let's get further down and dive into this video, and I'll tell you guys what I think after we watch this video. And most importantly, I kind of wished I could have attended this event. I couldn't attend this event, and even though I couldn't attend this event, I could actually feel the vibes out of this video, and the vibes out of this video, to me, I think they are pretty good, considering the fact that this will probably be the last Mustang that we will actually see that has a V8. So without going any further, let me show you guys this video. Here we got the reveal of the 2024 Mustang. We got a new facelift right there. So as you guys could see, without even looking at anything else, we could see we got a new facelift up in the front, and to me, I actually think that facelift actually looks very good. It gives a little bit more a wider stance to it. I could imagine the aftermarket car companies, by the time this car becomes a little bit old, I can imagine the parts and modifications that they will create to make this more aggressive. And this car actually does have a little bit of aggressive look. To me, my perspective, I think this kind of does look a little bit better than the S550. Prove me wrong or correct me I'm wrong. Tell me that in the comment section. I think this car actually does look good. This is like probably the first car I ever found that, to me, I kind of think is appealing. It got that front facelift. It looks a little bit more different compared to S550. S550 wasn't, to me, I think it was probably like my least favorite Mustang. My most favorite Mustang was the S197 Mustang, the 2010 to 2014 Mustang. Second gen favorite Mustang was the 99 to 04 Mustang. And from there, from those cars, I'm not really too a fan of. But anyway, to me, this car actually does look very appealing, and it has that modern touch and look to it, and it grabs the attention to the audience. I couldn't imagine how the audience reacted when they first seen this car, but to me, I actually think this actually does look very good. That looks good right there too. So as you guys could see, the 2024 Mustang really does, from the exterior point of view, it actually does look very good. And I'll show you guys more videos about the interior and all that stuff. But anyway, as far as the exterior is concerned, the 2024 Mustang does have that appeal that I think that will definitely grab the buyers and the attention to the viewers. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the exterior look of the 2024 Mustang. But let's get down, without going any further, let's get down to the interior of the 2024 Mustang that will surprise a lot of you guys. So let me show you guys that video. So as you guys could see, this picture right over here, we see the interior of the 2024 Mustang, and I mean, it's really surprising to see. It really has that modernized look into it. And as we're going ahead into the future, this interior actually doesn't look that bad, and it looks really, it adds that modern luxury touch, even though a Mustang is supposed to be known as a muscle car. But we have a little bit of a luxury appearance, quite like an Audi and a Mercedes-Benz. It gives that a little bit of a luxury feel to it at the same time of considering the fact that it is a muscle car and it's not about luxury. But out of all those years, from the Fox body to the 99 to '04 Mustang to all the way to the 2005 to 2009 Mustang, all the way to the S197 Mustang, this interior actually does look very good, and it has that appeal into it, that of the luxury type of look. And we got a little touchscreen right over there, like a Tesla type of touchscreen. And most importantly, we also got a manual transmission. And most importantly, I forgot to mention about this. The very important thing in this video that I forgot to mention is the fact that this 2024 Mustang is a manual transmission V8 Mustang. And this will probably be, if I'm not mistaken, the last Mustang that we will ever see that will be a V8, because after that, you guys know, by the time it hits to 2035, we got electric and gas cars hitting. And we don't know if gas cars will exist in that time, considering the fact that they're gonna ban and outlaw gas vehicles and motor vehicles to be allowed. But anyway, that's a different whole scenario of the EPA and all that stuff. But anyway, as far as this goes, this will probably be the last V8 Mustang we'll ever see. I kind of like the fact that this is not electric. This is a manual transmission V8 Mustang. And that's what it's all about, muscle car feeling. And we just want that V8 motor, all that automatic transmission motors. As long as it's not electric car, then everything is good. As for now, everything is good. There's no anything electric or anything about that, as far as maybe the Dodge electric and all that stuff goes. Well, that's a whole different size, a different company. But anyway, we're talking about Ford. But anyway, for Ford, we got a manual transmission with a V8 motor. And as far as the interior goes, we got that little bit of a modernized steering wheel. It kind of looks a little bit more bulky. It has that little feel into it. I could tell from the picture. In real life, it probably will be different. But we got a little bit of a big, fat steering wheel. Then we got a touchscreen right over there. Then the interior, as far as the dashboard goes and everything goes, it looks very modernized and it looks a little bit of a luxury appeal, quite like a Mercedes and an Audi, like I said. Prove me if I'm wrong. I kind of feel like the interior of the new S650 Mustang kind of looks more of a luxury feel. And even though, considering the fact that is a muscle car, I think that it's kind of cool to have a muscle car that has a little bit of a luxury feature into it. But anyway, that is the interior of the S650 2024 Mustang, and there's like a few more clips that I would like to show you guys. So now that we discussed a little bit about the interior of the 2024 Mustang, I would like to show you guys a little bit of the exterior, most importantly the back of the car and the rear end of the car. And another thing too that I would like to show you guys is the exhaust clip of the video that I have right over here that I'll show you guys in this video. So here we have the 2024 Mustang GT that will have the rev video that is going to show you guys. It's a rev video and a startup video to show you guys how it sounds and what it sounds like exactly. But without going any further, let's get dive into this video. So that is the startup of the car. It sounds nice. It sounds like how normally the Mustang GTs sound. It sounds very good. Most importantly, before I go any more ahead of this video, I would like to point out is the fact that the tail lights in the back of the car, it has a little bit of a more modernized look into it. And compared to the S550, the S550 had a more of a let's say like a flat surface look. The S650 Mustang GT has a more of a curve. It has curves on the tail lights, and to me, I think that actually looks good. It looks a little bit, let's say, this whole car in my aspect looks more of a improved version of a S550. I feel like the S550, there were some places where it didn't really look that appealing, and a lot of people that own the S550, they had to modify the car to make it look right, especially the front and the back. Adding a diffuser, a lip, and all that stuff to give it that aggressive look. To me, this S650 Mustang, it looks like from the factory, it comes with all, there's not really anything that you could do on it to make it look better. In my aspect, that's what I think, but let me know what you guys think about that. But the rear end and the fronts of the car, it looks really already modern look, and it looks more of the front fascia looks more modernized and looks appealing and aggressive. Same with the back side too. Maybe the one thing I would like to point out is the fact that I kind of wish that they probably maybe did a little bit something on the rear bumper. That flat surface right there, it's like a plastic thing, and maybe either like painted or something like that will probably give it a better look. Just like how they made the deck lid right over there, ladies and gentlemen. The deck lid right there is a painted surface, and it looks very elegant and appealing to many viewers and audience. And you know, I like the paint look compared to the normal gloss black deck lid that came with the, you know, the Mustangs normally. That's probably a new thing that I noticed right over there, ladies and gentlemen. Second thing is, maybe I kind of wish the black bumper right over there could have been a little bit more better, like meaning like it could have been painted and to make it look better. But anyway, in my aspect, the back end of the vehicle, the rear end of the vehicle actually looks appealing in the, you know, in the back too. And you know, I'm seeing a lot of win-win in situation in this. There's not anything to complain about to this car in my aspect. And I'm usually a little bit picky when it comes to cars. Like, for example, in the Mach-E, I'm not really a too fan of the Mach-E, but this right over here is something that it will impress a lot of people. And it's that type of car that I think that a lot of people might consider buying. But anyway, let's hear more of the sound of the exhaust and all that stuff. So that startup, you guys gotta admit, the startup and the exhaust revs actually sounds nice, and you know, it's really a good motor. It's considering the fact that actually it's making 500 horsepower, which a lot of people consider that's not a whole lot these days, but 500 horsepower on a naturally aspirated car is actually a lot of horsepower to begin with. You got a good platform car with 500 horsepower, adding a few mods and all that stuff, you'll be pushing around 1,000 horsepower within a few simple bolts. For me, I think this is a best car you could buy for your money wise, and 500 horsepower on a naturally aspirated car is actually a lot of horsepower. Anyway, let me show you guys a better clip and of a picture, of how the 2024 Mustang exactly looks like from the rear end and also from the side and all the way to, you know, to see how the wheels look like and everything like that. So I'm gonna show you guys how that looks like, which is right over here. And right over here, we see the rear end is a perfect picture. I think it's like the best picture I ever found of the 2024 Mustang. We see the deck lid painted, the rear bumper, and then we see the wheels. The wheels actually complement, looks nice. And we got a few new colors that Ford introduced. There's a little bit of a blue type of color that I forgot the name of it. It's like a blue color that looks mixed with like a deep impact, and it looks a little bit more like a lighter color. And we also see the wheels are black, you know, gloss black, and we see the rear end of the car. The rear end of the car kind of looks like how it was before. It looks like a S650 Mustang, and it looks more of a improved look. As you guys know, the aim of Ford was to make it more of a improved version, and make it more modernized. And to me, I think this picture looks good, and it looks more aggressive. I could say maybe the back of the car looks a little bit more aggressive, and let's say a little bit more wider. And the front end of the car also looks appealing too. It looks like a little bit of like a Ford Fusion type of front end, but at the same time, not too much of Ford Fusion front end. It looks like a thing that Ford kind of made on its own, a little bit of a different type of design as compared to a Ford Fusion, but it looks very modernized in the front. And to me, I think, in my perspective, I think that this car actually doesn't look that bad. Let's consider the fact and be happy about the fact that it's not an electric car. We're not dealing with AA cells and batteries and all that stuff. And you know, who wants electric Mustang? I'm not sure who wants one, but it's the V8 Mustang, and probably the last Mustang we will ever see before everything goes downfall and becomes electric. But yeah, that is the 2024 Mustang. And also Ford also introduced the Dark Horse Mustang that looks even better, and it has a more of an aggressive front fascia, and we also got a more aggressive look in the back too. And that car is also a very good looking car. I'll show you guys a picture about that too, but let me show you guys a little bit more of the 2024 Mustang. This picture that I'm about to show you guys is really a picture that I like. I found it on Instagram, and it really looks like what Ford claimed of why it's called a Dark Horse Mustang. To me, it looks more like a Batmobile, but it looks like a Dark Horse Mustang. And not gonna lie, it really looks dope, and I just like the way the car looks. In my perspective, I think the S550 Mustang, previous of that, there was something with the S550 Mustang that maybe this car couldn't compete with. And what I mean by is by the looks of it. The front end of this car, without even doing anything to the car, it really stands out from the crowd, and it looks very aggressive in the front. It's more filled up compared to the S550. I feel like the S550, it had a more narrower front facial, like like a face type of lift, and it didn't have that appeal and look as if you compare it to this S650 Mustang's more all. It's like more filled up, and it looks more like there's not really not anything much to add on this car. I mean, it looks like ready made from the factory, and it really looks very cool. But anyway, let me show you guys this picture of this Dark Horse Mustang. So this right over here, ladies and gentlemen, is the picture that I'm about to show you guys of the 2024 Mustang, which is right over here. And this picture really, like I said in my last conversation, it really stands out. The front, front end looks very cool and aggressive. And then the headlights also have a more of a sleek type of look compared to the S550. The S650 Mustang looks more, in my aspect, the headlights look more aggressive and it looks more wider. And it really, if you look at this picture very carefully, you really see that if you could imagine this car in a wide body type of Mustang, it really probably, in my perspective, this could probably be like the best Mustang you'll ever see on the road in my aspect. Let me know what you guys think. If this was wide bodied and it had all the modifications that later on, if let's say if this car was like 3-4 years old, by then car companies will make, car manufacturers and other type of companies will be making aftermarket parts to it. And I think this will probably look a very like a modernized Mustang. And I have no words to say. I think the whole car in my aspect is probably maybe the best Mustang of yet that Ford created. But that's my perspective. Let me know what you guys think about that. But anyway, this is probably my most favorite picture I found on Instagram. It's called the Dark Horse Mustang, and it really looks very dope. And like I cannot say much about it. To me, I think it's like my most favorite picture I ever found. And the Dark Horse Mustang really shows that why it's called a Dark Horse Mustang. To me, I'll probably call it the Batmobile, but it's called a Dark Horse Mustang. But anyway, I really love the whole front end and the front facelift and the whole headlights, the everything, the wheels. The rear end of the car looks modernized. I mean, a 5.0 naturally aspirated 500 horsepower vehicle. I mean, there's nothing much to ask for. You're also getting, I mean, imagine if you're getting a boost and all of a sudden you're probably pushing around 1,000 horsepower. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the best thing probably Ford ever did in my aspect and my honesty as compared to the previous Mustangs. The previous Mustangs look good too. At the end of the day, I could say that my most favorite Mustang was the 2010 to 2014, and it will always be my most favorite Mustang, the 2010 to 2014. It had the best body style, but if we're talking about something that has the modern look and appeal and maybe the luxury type of look of the interior wise, many people complain about when the Mustang looks very ugly in the interior wise, why it looks, cheap plastic. We got all that cheap stuff, people have to modify in order to make it look good, like add new touchscreen units and all that stuff, and then maybe new seats and all that stuff, customize your whole interior up in order to make it look like a modernized car. But this car in the interior really looks like a luxury vehicle, like more like an Audi and more like a luxury Mercedes, some type of car, maybe like a Tesla too a little bit, but Tesla's not a luxury. But anyway, I think this car, interior wise, exterior wise, really looks good. And for those that complain about this car from looking at it in the beginning, I would give this car a second chance before you actually start hating on this car. I think this car actually looks really good. And even though I didn't see it in person, I could tell you from my eyes and from everything that this car is probably a very good Mustang and probably the best Mustang that will ever come before everything changes afterwards by the time 2035 hits. But it really, if you're talking about a Mustang that you're wanting that has the more of the modernized look and the look, like a luxury type of interior, more like even though luxury doesn't stand out considering the fact that it is a muscle car at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this car is probably for those looking for that look appearance wise, the aggressive wise of the front end and all that stuff, and a little bit of the best interior aspect. I think this is probably the best Mustang you could ever buy, and probably the best generation considering the fact that the interior, everything is updated. It looks much better than the S550 Mustang in my aspect, because I was never a fan of the S550 Mustang. When I first saw this 550 Mustang, I wasn't a huge fan of it at all. Till now, I'm not really a fan of this 550 Mustang. But anyway, I think this Mustang really, in my perspective, it hits me, and I feel like it looks very good. And there's not much to say about this. So, in conclusion, if you're wondering that whether or not I like the S650 Mustang, as you guys know, that answer is yes. I believe, and matter of fact, I believe the S650 Mustang is probably the best Mustang Ford ever made, considering the fact that a lot of people actually complain about the interior. And I know we're gonna have some people in the comment section saying, or maybe particularly people saying that why did they make the interior look more of a luxury type of appeal and look, but if we're talking about 2024, if you think about it, 2024 Mustang, what would you actually think about? Because considering the fact that moving on back in the old times, the Mustangs were more, Ford never really focused much on the interior of the car. The It was always about plastic, especially the 99 to 04 Mustangs. Those things usually fall apart. Those panels, everything, you have to like glue it on, put those super glue and stick those panels back on. And it really was like it's a funny car, the 99 to 04 Mustangs. Like, you know, plastic. Same with the Fox body Mustang. It was just a muscle car. They never focused much on the interior. Then maybe the 2010, 2014 Mustangs, it looks okay a little bit, the interior. And then the S550, then it kind of improved from the S550. But then when we're talking about the S650 Mustang, the S650 Mustang's interior really shows that elegance look appeal and that luxury type of appeal that I think Ford actually nailed it. And if we're talking about performance-wise, you're getting a 500 horsepower vehicle, not aspirated. And that actually has a lot of potential you can ask for. I mean, do a few simple bolt-ons, a Pro Charger, turbocharger, whatever they make in the future. I think that car, this Mustang particularly, the S650 Mustang, it actually has that best bang for your buck, and it's probably worth the money at the end of the day. If you're asking about whether or not is it worth the money, I think the answer to that is yes, it is worth the money. And anyway, a lot of people complain about the interior of the Mustangs. I think Ford actually nailed it on this one. The interior really looks good. At the same time, people probably say it looks like a Tesla or an Audi or maybe a Mercedes type of look, considering the fact that it has like a touchscreen and all that stuff on the thing, and the steering wheel looks more of a, you know, like a big fat steering wheel. I think it looks really good, and Ford really did nail on this Mustang, and you couldn't ask for anything else, considering the fact that, you know, it's not electric and all that stuff. You know, a lot of people would have complained, I know, if it was electric, considering the fact that when I stopped uploading YouTube videos a while back, and we saw a lot of stuff changed at that time. We saw Dodge releasing the electric Dodge Chargers, and then they also had those fake electric sounds that come out of the car. Like, that was when I saw that video, this was crazy. Like, electric sounds coming out of the exhaust. It was really funny. I mean, Dodge. I mean, I don't really have any complaints about the electric Dodge Charger. I mean, I think it looks good on its own. From the looks and the everything else, it looks good. But hearing an electric car make exhaust noises is really weird. But anyway, that's Dodge problems. But anyway, in my aspect, I think the Ford Mustang 2024 is actually something that is worth looking at and buying at, and it will grab the attention to the audience over time. Many people will probably in the comment section be hating on the new S650 Mustang, saying that it looks really awful, or it looks bad, it looks stupid, it looks ugly. But I think that you guys should give the S650 Mustang a second chance. And once you guys give the S650 a second chance, then I think it will all fall in place. You will actually start liking the S650 Mustang. So I think that for those that are hating about the S650 Mustang, give the S650 Mustang a second chance. And when it comes to on the road and in reality, I'm sure a lot of people would change their minds and say that the S650 Mustang is probably the best Mustang you could ever buy in terms of power-wise and the interior-wise, which is something a lot of people I need to explain about the interior because a lot of people complained about the interior of the Mustangs from all the generations, saying that it's cheap plastic, it's cheap that, and cheap everything. So if you're buying a modernized Mustang, I think the S650 Mustang is definitely worth the money and definitely worth the look of your car. And it really is something that I think Ford nailed it and did something better. At least we could say for the fact that they did better on compared to the Mach E Mustang, which I'm not too of a fan of that. But anyway, let me know in the comment section and let me know your thoughts, perspective, opinions, whatever, what you guys think about the S650 Mustang. And also let me know what you guys think about whether you guys hate it or like it or not. Change your perspective or opinion. I think that the S650 Mustang is the best Mustang you could buy in terms of the interior quality and exterior quality. And thirdly, the most important thing, the performance wise. So all those things, if you just see that, it's actually a win situation at this point. I mean, you're getting a good exterior, you're getting a good interior of the car, which people complain about cheap plastic and cheap that. So that, we can knock that out. We gain a good improved interior. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, the performance-wise. The performance-wise is something that you guys should consider about, considering the fact that the Mustang GT comes with 500 horsepower, naturally aspirated. There's nothing much to ask for. You already got a good bargain for your money, a good power adder vehicle. Further adding mods, you could probably potentially make up to 1,000 horsepower without any hassle. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about the S650 Mustang. But in my perspective, I think the S650 Mustang is the best Mustang you could possibly ever buy before, I don't know what happens in 2035. But anyway, that is all, and that wraps up for this video for today. I hope you guys like this video. It's a video that I was very thrilled and excited about in making, and my thoughts is that I really like the S650 Mustang. I might probably, matter of fact, I think I'll probably maybe consider buying a S650 Mustang. I mean, you're getting the modern look, appeal, and everything like that, and the luxury look and the performance, everything. I mean, this is it literally, if you knock everything out, there's really everything that this car has that you could possibly ever say out of your words and mouth. So yeah, I'm probably considering on buying a S650 Mustang, but you know, let me know in the comment section on what you guys think about the S650 Mustang. But anyway, that wraps this video up for today. I hope you guys love and like this video. Leave a comment, like, share, do whatever you guys want, like I always say. Take care and have a rest of your fantastic, beautiful, marvelous, spectacular rest of your day. Signing off. Peace out.